Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Red Skies Over Chult, Squirm. So, last time, the investigators had infiltrated a cult meeting where there was going to be a human sacrifice. The human sacrifice was temporarily stalled by Daemon Devlin, our tiefling warlock, private investigator. This ensued. This ensured a bunch of panic while the investigators, Ash Sterling, a changeling bard radio producer, and Emissary, a warforged artificer slash tinkerer and perpetual student. So yeah, they all ran from this obvious cult meeting. Before finding out a couple things, they learned the name Caius, Niall, Nyanzaru, and stuff about worms. They retreated to the radio station, and they were going to continue their investigation come the morning. What would you all like to do?
First of all, I just want to say I just got the Daemon Devlin thing 3 episodes in.
What you mean?
Don't talk to me.
What?
Literally, I don't know how I didn't get that sooner. It's only occurring to me now, and I am upset both at myself and at Timothy.
What? Why are you upset at Daemon? Come on.
Daemon Devlin, the tiefling.
Well, you know.
Changey McChangerson.
That's right. Yeah, transformy McMorph.
Morph.
Hello, hi, yes, I'm Robot Roboterson.
Right.
Robert.
Robert Pattinson.
There we go.
Patent pending.
What do you think? But we were going to go back to Triceratops Society. We dispersed this information. Is that right?
You have not dispersed any. So the last thing you did was you found a. You examined the dagger, and it had a location name on it, and
right.
You were going to maybe go to
Mar.
Yes.
Right.
Maybe go to the library about it. You had mentioned going back to Jessamine, the merchant councilwoman who hired you.
Who's 450 years old.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel that. All right. I say we do some investigative reporting. I say we do some investigative reporting.
Right. We spent the night here at the radio station, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, got to have a cup of coffee and think about it for a sec. Come back in.
Im is just kind of making percolator noises.
Oh, I like it.
Already.
The one thing we have here is coffee. It's just about the only thing we can afford.
Coffee and Chult is generally better, right? It's stronger.
Yes.
It's like the same way you can get good rum anywhere in Cuba. I feel like you can get good coffee anywhere in Chult.
It
Right.
has to travel significantly less far.
Right.
It's
Super
true.
fresh roast.
It's fair trade, I know, because, guy across the street is the one who harvested it. His name's Douglas.
Douglas Fair. I like it. Well, I think, what do you think about going back to see Lady Jessamine?
I think it's best that we disseminate this information as soon as possible.
You mean widely? You want to do a broadcast about it? So you want to do research, but we have to be careful because...
I meant to Jessamine.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I apologize. My vocabulary is somewhat tainted by my occupation.
Oh, I don't feel your dissemination was in any way tainted. Rest assured. Well,
What?
oh, nothing. Emissary, do you have any thoughts on the subject?
I mean, we were hired to find the information, so if we should probably bring it to them first, and then if more people need to know, I guess Ash can tell them. Coffee is
Absolutely.
done, by the way.
Hmm?
Just gonna pull a couple mugs out from under a jacket.
Oh, thank you.
Mike, we're taking the day off today to do some investigative reporting.
Haha, you got it.
Is that like a haha, you got it, as in that is his only way to say that?
Yes.
Or is he actually excited?
I mean, yes. He's always enthusiastic.
I need to figure out a soundboard so I can use one for Ka and so you can use one for Mike.
All right.
All right, so let's. So we could just walk with these mugs then, right? Because they're with you, generally.
Yes.
Great. Well, let's just walk over there, shall we? Or do you want to take a vehicle?
By the way, Mike definitely has like a fedora and trench coat with like a little press thing in it. That's not negotiable.
Okay. I mean, Yep, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so you walk on. Would you like to would you like to procure a ride? There are several ride services. Port Nyanzaru is not huge, so you could walk there. It wouldn't take you that long, but
Yeah. How crowded are the streets?
how crowded? I mean, it's the problem with taking any kind of vehicle or cart or anything like that is that pedestrians are still the number one way to get around. So you're slowed down a lot. It's like Times
Right.
Square.
Right. So
like
yeah.
a trolley car, because this is 1920.
There's a trolley service, a tram. Yeah.
Let's ride the trams.
Well, I. Here's the thing. I just want us to be careful. So I'm content to go either way, but let's just keep an eye on each other, keep our wits about us as we move through the streets.
If it makes you comfortable, we'll walk instead.
Well, either way, that's what I'm saying. If we walk through a crowd, there's people around us. If we're in a vehicle, we're limited by what's around us, and we're in a box or whatever.
I think we'll be fine. Nobody's seen this face. Oh, right.
We got away and we're in disguises. I don't know if there's any real whole danger to us being in a crowd.
Well, let's hope you're
It's all
right.
very scary all of a sudden.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be
I'm not really
alright.
used to.
Yes?
I'm not really used to being worried about getting picked out of a crowd for reasons that should be apparent by now.
Right, it is. Look, I don't want there to be any trouble. I'm just being mindful of the possibility. Things are weird. That was very strange. We don't know who was there, really. And we think we got away, but we have to be careful, that's all. So yeah, let's just keep our wits about us. That's my suggestion.
All right, and Ash is going to shapeshift into
Form of a bucket of water.
a muscular-looking hobgoblin with a short, thick beard, wearing a worker's cap and suspenders, as well as a pair of ragged jeans and thick leather boots.
Okie doke. Okay.
All right, let's get this over with.
Okay.
He's gonna wink really obviously.
Okay. So sorry, what was the final vote then? Tram car or walking?
Walking, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's a beautiful, beautiful morning in Port Nyanzaru. The street is bustling as always. You walk past many merchants, street vendors, the market square.
Waves.
A couple people wave back at Emissary. And you head to the Golden Palace. How would you like to approach?
Whatever way we went last time, I reckon.
Okay. So yeah, there's like a side entrance that you all went in through last time. So
Can I use the sending spell to just give a message to her directly?
sure.
We are outside Palace. Where would you like us to go for info? Your info.
She says, I'll send someone, it's one word, Andy, out with instructions. We'll meet later at a safe spot. So if you go to that side door, someone walks out. Pull up my map of Port Nyanzaru. Okay. So one of the fellas from last time comes out. Vezer, the half elf, comes out, and kind of discreetly walks outside, lights a cigarette, nods at you but doesn't approach you. Lights a cigarette and then smokes it, puts it out, and he very obviously drops a piece of paper on the ground, turns around and walks back inside.
I'm just gonna subtly grab that piece of paper.
Okay. So yeah, you walk up, kind of grab it, walk a couple feet away, open it up, and she lists a place called Cafe Nyanzaru in the Harbor Ward.
A title drop.
Said the thing.
All right, let's go. I think I'm in the mood for some coffee.
I can make. Oh no, I get it. Never mind.
Okay. So you all head over there. It's this nice little cafe. It's more a bar than a proper cafe. But they kind of serve everything. They do have food, coffee, but they also serve alcohol. And at this point, it's lunchtime-ish. So there's a couple people in there. It's the 20s, so everyone's smoking inside, as we established last episode.
Oh, I am.
But this place has open windows and doors, so it's not stifling, but it is. Right. I mean, if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, it's still unpleasant.
That sounds like a problem for people with lungs.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so me and Mike, and not anyone else, because you're fire-resistant, Storm of Star, or Devlin.
That's right.
Okay.
These are good for you. Haven't you talked to a doctor?
What else?
But bracing.
Oh God! I forgot that we're in 20
Of course.
Science.
Yeah.
Come on. What do you mean pseudoscience?
They balance out your humors. And,
That's right.
yeah. Cleric recommended.
Absolutely.
They produce Vibison, which gives good vibes.
I think what aren't these Forge cleric recommend? Aren't these Tarbeck tough?
Very much not authorized, by the way. There's an ongoing lawsuit about the use of that slogan.
Oh, I like it.
So Daemon
between Tarbeck the 8th and
Okay, sorry, Marty just won with that
Yeah.
one.
What do you write?
9 out of 10 clerics recommend Chesterfield.
Exactly. That's what I'm smoking. Right.
So, okay. So, after a while, Jessamine, who you have come to recognize as kind of she looks old, but she doesn't seem terribly frail necessarily. But also, she's allegedly 450, so
Right.
And doesn't look a day over 90. So
Like yoga grandma, essentially.
Yeah, and she's wearing kind of a nice grandma shawl, purple robes, sandals, and she kind of clops in. She nods at you all, and she goes and gets herself a tall drink. She doesn't come back until it's basically spilling out of the top. Like, no, keep going. I can still see daylight. Just kind of shakily brings it back over, downs it, and she says, "So, what did you find?"
Well, first of all, I produce this dagger.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I
Cool. Totes cool.
Yeah, and I mentioned the location of Chult Damar. Have you heard of this place?
She says,
I bring it up as subtly as possible.
Yeah, she kind of squints, looks at the dagger, looks up at you, and she says, that there's a legend of that location. It's a fallen city, founded sometime long in the past when a rogue cleric left the city of Mesro and fell out with Ubtao, the god of the Chultan people.
Why would they be falling out? I thought Ukau love rogues and clerics.
This person was doing things that most would consider unnatural.
So, like, possession of undead with the intent to create a horde? Or...
Yeah, like necromancy.
Being the entire Senate.
Yep.
What?
I am the Senate.
Well, looks
taking
like
a teenager
we've got...
to a play and just not shutting up during it,
Really?
crimes.
Looks like we've got a mystery on our hands.
Jinkies.
Where's the high five? Well, any insight as to where the site of this place is?
Yeah, she said she can describe how to get there. It's a couple days outside the city of Port Nyanzaru. It's in the jungles.
And are you willing to underwrite some sort of expedition? Are you proposing that sort of thing, or are we done with our work with you, or what's your
she
feeling
says,
on this?
do you have evidence that
no evidence of cult activity beyond witness accounts and this dagger.
And the mask.
Oh, and the masks.
Right.
And the costumes.
Right,
Okay.
we've got these robes, and what do we do with the? We left them in the rope trick hole, right? Those guys.
Yeah, they eventually fell.
Yeah.
Right.
Lasted for an hour.
Just cut back to fall into cans.
So, but we don't know for a fact who these guys are. We weren't able to apprehend them or anything.
So you have confirmed that there is cult activity in the city of Port Nyanzaru.
Mm-hmm.
That the cult is indeed quite bad, but you have not confirmed who any of the cult members are. And she specifically wants to know if one person is a member of the cult.
We
Right.
did have a location of where the meeting was.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although, with infiltration, they might shift that kind of stuff. Although it was only last night. I mean, get people there to maybe try and root it out if you can officially.
She says with that she can certainly try and get somebody to investigate, but it's the kind of thing where if you've described it to her, it was just a bunch of people in robes. Like, they didn't like necessarily change the fundamental. Like, if we went in there right now, there'd be no evidence of cult activity, other than maybe 3 unconscious people in the back alley.
Damn, I wonder who did that.
Mystery.
I will have to go to the location if we want to get more information.
Add it to the mystery of mysteries.
Sadly, we couldn't figure out the identities of anyone involved.
Right.
And as for if she will pay it, she says she will continue to pay your appropriate
rate.
fees while the investigation is ongoing.
Okay. So, if we have to hire any vehicular assistance or anything. All right. What do you think then, friends?
I think we better mount an expedition of our own.
Right. Well, get out there then. I mean, what do you think? Emissary, you're in?
I don't see why not. I haven't been out in the jungle before, so
You'll love it. Maybe.
I hope so.
Lots of flora and fauna, you know. Lots of creatures, things to encounter, so.
Only some of them are poisonous or venomous.
Well, I'm not too worried about that.
That's right, you're ideally suited to.
Yeah, the bugs
I
won't
only
bother
know
you.
of 2 that are explosive.
Great. Well, what level of preparation for such an undertaking would we need to take? Like, how untamed is the wilderness yet?
She says the jungles are still dangerous. The jungles are still dangerous. You can always hire a guide. They are generally safer than they were, say, 400 years ago when, there was a death curse.
Mm-hmm.
But there are still, like, dinosaurs and shit. Like, it's still dangerous. You can hire a guide. You could buy maps at this point. The jungle is now very well documented. It's still dangerous.
Right. Okay. Well, do you have any guides in your society you can lend us? We might be able to be reliably counted upon.
She says yes. She will recommend if you go down to, let me get my map. In Malar's Throat, there is a guide named Beacon, and she is recommended by Jessamine. She's recommended her services in the past and never been let down.
Okay. Great. And where do we find her?
Malar's Throat.
That sounds a bit foreboding. Malar's the murder god, isn't that right?
God of the Hunt.
Right, but like the bloodthirsty side of the hunt, right?
Yeah.
We had a problem up in the Moonshades with some Malar worshippers back in the day. I remember they were getting a bit ferocious with the, activities. Not to, cast aspersions on different religious, points of view and the like. But that's what I remember about Malar. Yeah.
He's certainly not a pleasant god, but she says that it's just an old name. Kind of thing,
Okay, well, let's go to Malar's throat and look for Beacon.
All right, let's get on it.
Okay, great. Thank you. And we'll cover the drink, even though, we'll include it in the expenses, but you don't have to worry about it. Well, you probably didn't worry about it anyway.
She thanks you all. Creaks as she stands, nods, goes back to the bar, gets another one, and hits the road.
How much gold can I add to my sheet, by the way?
Damn.
I'm trying to remember what your day rate was.
200 a day, I think. Were we like Jim Rockford?
200
a day plus expenses or
yeah,
something?
It was a lot. Yeah.
It was like gold up to 200 a day. That's what.
Oh, but that's with expenses. So I think it was like 15
right.
gold a day. So you all get 30 gold.
Right.
Yay.
Enough that you were excited about hiring a janitor.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, that could be a reliable expense, especially if, you need to hire a caretaker for when you're out on this expedition, right? That's up to 200 a day, certainly, right? You could bill her for that.
You are correct.
Right.
Episode 6 of the show is going to be debating what is a valid expenditure.
Receipt, right. It's the
you
called
can't
the
do
audit.
That. Yeah.
Eldritch audit.
Okay, one thing I know that is a valid expense, though, is we're going to need a cart of some kind to sleep in the jungle so we don't get eaten alive by bugs.
Oh, well, there's all sorts of repellent, right? You mean, or like large bugs. Literally eaten alive.
Little bit of column A, little bit of column B.
Right. Okay. What kind of cart do you want?
I don't know. Something Mike can drive.
Oh, is Mike coming with us?
Mike, are you coming with us?
He looks at you like, he'll say, live at 5. Like, doesn't someone need to be at the radio station?
I mean, do you think you can run it all by yourself?
He kind of looks and says, I have faith in me.
How about I give you 40 gold pieces and you hire whoever you need to in the time that I'm gone, and we can kind of build off the momentum from there.
You cut out, Dan.
And we can kind of build off the momentum from there when I get back. Sorry, I accidentally unplugged my microphone.
He says...
That would be why you cut out.
Yes. He says, haha, sounds great!
And I'm going to give him 40 gold pieces.
Great plan, boss. Adjust his hat. Walk back into the market ward.
Don't blow it all on crap, please.
Team 3 stands over buying like a bunch of Funko Pops.
Oy.
Cheer up the studio.
You could use some cheering up. So yeah, no, I say we get provisions and then we head out as soon as possible.
Okay. So, what kind of provisions are you seeking?
Well, I imagine we'll have to cover some of that column A for bug repellent. Literally.
Yeah.
And then,
this is all expenses paid for, correct?
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I say we get 10 days of rations each.
I'm not worried about rations.
Okay, well, you're not worried about rations. I am.
Well, what we can do is get rations for the 3rd, and he doesn't have to eat them, and then we've got them to eat. So, 10 days of rations for 3 becomes, 15 days of rations
I was talking
for 2.
about each of us.
Right. But, like, Emissary doesn't eat, right?
That's true.
But we can still bill for that. I'm just saying. Right?
You got a point there. All right, so that's 15 for me and 15 for Devlin.
Right. So, and then we're getting the guide. Bug repellent. I don't know. Maybe some sort of healing potions.
I've got healing.
Oh,
already.
right. What about that? Well, what else do you?
Potions, and I'm apparently carrying like 50 uses worth of healer's kits.
Bug
so-
repellent.
Bless you.
Thank
Lit.
you.
Bug repellent and anti-venom.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I might like that, definitely.
Yeah, you can pick all that stuff up. The bug repellent's like a big block of incense you burn. It smells of citronella.
Is it the sort of thing we have to keep burning, or we do it once and we're good for the day, or is it something we have to carry about?
You kind of have to
ambiently?
carry it about with you, but it's got like a carrying it's essentially got like a censer, so you just hang it from a pack, and it kind of covers like an area.
Right. Tip off. Where we are.
Yeah,
Take
but
a bite from the incense block. Do not take a bite from the incense block. I want to know what it's made out of.
Well, maybe a sliver, just a little taste. Just a taste. What do you think?
You eat?
Then you're not helping.
Oh, I am helping. Don't you think research is important? Maybe you could replicate it if you could understand.
No one is eating the incense block.
What? Not the whole thing, just a taste.
It's not even like the voice in M's head. It's just a Daemon over her shoulder, over their
right.
shoulder. Like
That's right. Literally the
I
devil.
literally have the angel and
Yeah.
devil going on right now.
exactly.
yeah.
Oh,
Hi. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
cool.
Hi.
Well, you're back,
Okay.
which
I
is
don't know.
awesome.
I think I touched my screen. I might have just knocked it down. Anyway.
Can I buy studded leather armor?
Oh,
Sure.
Okay,
that's one more point on your AC, right?
it is one more point on my AC.
That's good.
I'm just checking the cost.
Oh,
Although I guess now that I think about it, it's being paid for, so I don't have to worry about that.
what? Get a receipt.
Yeah.
Are you good about keeping your receipts?
Great about keeping my receipts. I know how to
Okay.
save money.
Okay, you have a sticky paste to type it in your book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. As you're shopping, can I get perception checks from everyone, please?
I'm pretty
Oh,
good at
no.
that, actually. 14.
14.
I'm
18.
utterly engrossed in shopping. Oh, I can't believe this tie I found. I rolled a 9.
Okay.
Can you believe this tie?
And
It's a nice tie.
M got an 18.
Correct.
Perfect. Okay. Daemon and Ash are discussing this aforementioned tie, which is apparently necessary jungle trekking equipment.
No, it's not, but it's so nice.
When Emissary, you see and you notice that for the past couple of minutes, there have been 2 individuals wearing black suits,
Good.
black shirt, gold tie, hats. They've been kind of tailing you, and they're starting to get a little closer. And one of them is like straight up approaching you now, and looks the intent to talk to one of you. You would clock them as slightly shady individuals.
Problems.
You see, that's your way of alerting us that these guys are coming over.
Yes, like there's an imminent social situation about to happen
Oh,
in
right.
Annex.
I'm going to turn around, take a slow wheeze off of my cigarette, squint my eyes, and sort of exhale and be like, can I help you fellers?
Yeah, the one kind of looks taken aback because maybe they're used to being a little sneakier than that, and they says, yeah. We heard yins are going into the jungles, to the ziggurat.
Oh,
And
I've only got a few in my pack if you want a ziggurat, but I'll give you a light if you need one.
Who's asking?
his partner says, "This one's clever, slick."
Oh,
That he is, Slim.
I reiterate, who is asking?
Slick and slim, apparently.
They say our employer, Mr. Manshoon, would like to have a word with you.
Well, Mr. Manshoon, eh? What kind of word?
Very fond of a whole lot of words anymore.
That's a real shame. I'm kind of a business proposition. I know you're running things for the Merchants Council. Nothing says you can't do both.
Well,
All right.
where is it Mr. Manshoon wants to have a word? Maybe he could come see us somewhere.
No.
Someplace nice and public, like, you know.
They say Mr. Manshoon doesn't really do come to you kind of business.
Oh, I see.
Unfortunate.
Well, you know, we're in the middle of shopping. Check out this tie I found. It's beautiful.
It's, yeah, real nice.
It's very nice. So, what's your name there, Mr. Slim or Mr. Slick?
This one's Slick.
Right.
No, I'm sorry, Slim. It does not matter. They're
Right.
basically interchangeable.
Right. One is slightly slimmer and one is slightly slicker.
Yes.
Than the other. Well, where and when would you be wanting this sort of exchange to happen?
He'll snap his finger, and crawling out of his suit coat, like from the inside pocket, is a snake that will hand him a piece of paper that he will hand to you.
Oh, fancy. All right, I'll mage hand the paper from his hand.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just got a it's got an address on it. The address is in
I love that part of town.
Yeah.
Very
Very
musical.
The address is in Old City.
Old City?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we were just there. Didn't really like
Where
the
all the
time
songs come
there.
from? Oh, right. That's where we went to the right. Right, we went to a restaurant near there the other night. It was very nice.
It's a great part
okay.
of town. So lively.
Yes. Very the music and everything, yeah. All right. Well, and when we're going to be leaving town quite soon, so when did Mr. Manshoon want this to happen?
He holds business calls all afternoon. If you could stop by today, it'd be great. Be real great for your health and your well-being.
Oh, that's a threat.
You say that loud. Yes.
Yes, every time Emissary has ever heard that, it has turned into a threat.
Kind of.
Oh,
Slim looks at you like, yeah, it is. You don't usually have to say it.
well, you know, you don't have to get all insinuatory or bald-faced, as it were.
Just whatever happened to when they just say, "Hey, we're gonna take your kidneys if you don't do so and so."
You're lamenting for the kidney threats.
Yes,
The good old days of spontaneous organ removal. We'll talk about that maybe. Well, all right. Well, look, we'll take your card, and thank you. You've delivered your errand, and now you can toodle off to the land or wherever you got your ties. And we'll say thank you, Slim and Slicky.
Thank you. Now we're gonna go put French fries on his sandwiches. Goodbye.
Oh, French fellers, are you? Yeah. All right.
Put French fries on everything. We're from Neverwinter.
I love that idea that is a cuisine quirk of Neverwinter.
It's
the French fry ice cream is out of this world.
I'd try it.
It's just Pittsburgh.
Right.
This is just Pittsburgh. I'm just making fun of Pittsburgh. Okay.
Oh,
It's
never
fine.
went to your Pittsburgh analog. I love it.
Yes, I have done that once before. That the Zentarum are based in Neverwinter, and they're all from Pittsburgh. I don't know why I decided that, but because it's black and gold. That's right, because of the Steelers. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Welcome to D&D.
I love it.
Okay, so yeah, they disassociate themselves from you, and leave you to continue your shopping. Whether or not you stop at Manshoon's is obviously up to you all. I'm sorry, Mr. Manshoon's.
Mr. Manshoon.
What
do we know? Sorry, what?
Yeah, what do we know about Mr. Manshoon? That's a better question.
Yeah, give me a history check.
I am proficient in that. That is a 17.
Okay.
Nice.
8.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
Okay.
I am not from here.
That was after rolling a 20 natural, like incidentally, before any sort of specific roll.
Oh,
just as we were
no.
chatting, of course.
Hate when that happens.
Right? I should just leave them alone. All right.
Okay. Okay. So, with Ash's score of above a 15. So, Mr. Manshoon is a businessman, a totally legitimate businessman.
All right.
He is the head of a trade guild called the Zentarum, or Gentarum, if you'd like to be fanciful about it. And yeah, they are a totally legitimate trade guild. They've mostly scrubbed their sort of dirty image from the past 400 years to be, yeah, they're in sanitation. It's a lot of cash industries.
Yeah, they launder money mostly.
Yeah.
But they also dispose of bodies every now and then.
Yes, they have a less than savory reputation, but it's one of those things where they're never going to catch him. You know, it'll be tax evasion in the end, and he'll just be like, "I'm just going to die, and I'll have another clone. So who cares?"
Wow. So, you
They're a
tell us.
completely legitimate business, and Sea of Fortunes is a completely legitimate sailor.
Yeah.
Yes, legitimate in quotation marks.
Why would you need quotation marks? That's makes no sense, friend. I do not understand you.
All right, looks like look, I don't want to get my kidneys taken out or my pinky cut off or whatever, so let's just get this over with.
You didn't really sound like you minded them earlier. What changed?
I just prefer people to be forward when they're threatening me. I think this is the first time I've been threatened. People threaten reporters all the time.
It's true.
Yeah,
You know, they're
can
perceived as
understand that.
sort of Budinskis, right? Sticking their noses where they don't belong and such like. Much like private investigators, we've got a lot in common in that respect. Well, I think it's probably no accident that these two fellers come up to us when we're about to leave town. So let's probably have it in our best interest to check it out.
Aye.
Okay, and maybe.
Well, I'm worried. I don't really have kidneys.
Well, they'll take away your gears.
Oh, that would be a problem.
Might want to make a few spares in case that happens.
Yeah, they'll
That's a
melt
good
you down
idea.
and make tuna cans.
Oof. Terrible. Is that one of those birds with the big beaks?
Sure.
I've heard of them. They're probably out in the jungle.
Plenty of
Don't-
them. out.
Stop being so goddamn clever.
Sorry. So what do you mean? I'm just, from the Moonshades.
All right. Let's get on it then.
Okay. All right.
So, would you like to go fetch your guide, or?
First,
yeah.
we'll go to Nanshoon's office.
Mr. Manshoon, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we need a guide to Manchun's office, although, like, maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Right. Well, the Maller's Throat, is that also in the old city?
No, they're both on the edge of town, but you have to. They're one's at the north
Opposite
edge of
edges.
town, and one's at the south edge of town. Yeah.
Which edge are we closer to currently?
Right now, you are closer to Malar's
Middle
Throat.
edge.
You're in the south.
Well,
Jeez, that's
and-
annoying. You're in the. Technically, you're in the north corner. And
I
then.
hate the way the map is oriented.
Yeah, the map's oriented
Yeah.
weird. So.
Crazy. I hate that. Okay, so. And Beacon is just there, hanging, generally?
Yeah,
There's no...
they have like an office front that you would have gotten the address
Okay.
to.
Cool, alright. Well, I suppose it makes sense since we're right here to just do it. Go by, maybe get a bite. Who knows what they serve at a place called Maller's Throat, but everything's probably rare. That's my feeling. Lots of organ meat, and giblets and stuff, such like don't really care for.
Uncooked or hard to get?
Probably right. Yes, both. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Yeah, let's go there.
Okay. So sorry, something fell in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
So
Panic.
Gravity wins.
you head to Maller's Throat, and you get there. It's a bit more run down than the parts of the city you've been in so far. It's not unnice, but it's obvious that none of the buildings have had a fresh coat of paint in a while. This is clearly a less cared about part of town by the certain city council. They're clearly not spending a lot of money to revitalize this area.
Right, urban blight area.
It's run down, and you can actually see that there's not a lot of people living here. It's been even like abandoned for the most part by people, which is maybe why whether or not that is a symptom of it not being paid attention to, or it hasn't been paying attention to because people don't live here anymore.
Right, it becomes a six of one, half dozen the other. Vicious circle.
But you walk through, and eventually you find a nice little shop front that has a big sign, or a medium sign out front that says Beacon's Expeditions.
Okay. Well, stub out my cigarette, I suppose, and have a walk in.
Okay.
So
Inside,
you can light a new one as you're walking in.
I will.
inside, it's like a travel agent's in here. Like there's like posters on the wall, like visits Chult, and kind of like summer in the Moonshay. A bunch of stuff around there. And sitting behind the counter is a rather bored-looking Fire Ganassi woman.
Ooh.
Just kind of... She seems maybe middle-aged, 40s probably.
Okay. Begging your pardon. We're looking for someone who goes by the name of Beacon for a guide.
You found her. Welcome to Beacon's Expeditions.
Thank you. I am Mr. Daemon Devlin, and these are my companions.
Hello.
This is M, and sorry, forget the hob's name offhand. I'm looking at Luger. This is Lou, and we're having a seat, I suppose. We're looking to hire us a guard on recommendation from, what's her name now? Sorry. It's lost me my recollection. Just a second. Flip through my papers.
Jessamine?
Yes, Jessamine, that's right, for the Golden Throne. Anyway, she recommended you quite highly. We're looking to go to a place called Kulatamar.
She says, always happy to have word of mouth. That's how I get most of my clients, is people recommending me. So if you enjoy your my services, please tell your friends. Why would you want to be going to the ziggurat?
Well, as you can probably tell, I'm not from around here, and I'm rather a curious sort. You can recommend it. In part, it's sort of a business and pleasure, There's possible opportunities out there I'd like to explore. And there's a bit of work that's sending us out that way. Official sort of business. Can't really speak to, in part because, frankly, I don't know everything there is to know about it.
But she kind of nods and says, right, Jessamine recommended you.
Right, yes. So
she said,
and then Ash will rob and say, "Don't worry, it's not grave robbing."
Good, but it's not sort of some sort of adventure tourism either, right? Because
no, we're no.
She
Jessamine.
says, I can help you out if you're working for Jessamine. If Jessamine recommended you, I'll bill her directly.
Great, thank you.
Don't have to worry about anything in that regard. I can be ready to leave by the evening if you'd like to travel then. Otherwise, in the morning, I have to take care of some things here, make sure the storefront's managed while I'm gone, get my own supplies. But we can. The ziggurat will take about 2 days to get to. It's not the worst jungle trek ever, so even if you're new to Chult, this won't be too hard. If you're, and she kind of looks at you and says, you look hardy folk, you're adventurers, kind of thing, which is rare anymore.
I'm not an adventurer. I'm a reporter.
Well, into tradition, I mean, what goes for an adventurer? Nowadays, in this modern hustle-bustle sort of world, you are, right? Sort of rooting out facts into dungeons of the unknown, as it were.
I'm an investigative reporter. I don't like the term adventurer.
Sounds like an adventurer to me.
Hey.
I'm sorry, an investigator. You are all investigators.
There we go.
Investigating the mysteries of this ziggurat. She says, now, if you're going to go exploring inside the ziggurat, my services do not extend that far.
We understand.
Does that mean that if sort of on happenstance, sort of opportunity or circumstance lead us into that sort of a situation, you just sort of come back on your own, or you sort of
wait outside for you for a
right.
predetermined amount of time?
Right, leave them to run it and
Yeah.
such like. That sounds perfectly fair. We're the curious types. You're just the one who's going to sort of safeguard our unknowns, quantities, I suppose, at least to us. Sounds good. What do you think, friends? Do you want to go tonight or in the morning?
I think we see. We take care of everything else on our to-do list, and we go tomorrow morning.
All right. Do you recommend? I mean, well, let me ask you, Beacon. Do you recommend a night trip or a morning trip? What's your preference? If you had your druthers, and you do.
She says, each has their pluses and minuses. Traveling by night, it's a heck of a lot cooler. But traveling by day obviously offers you the safety of being able to see a little bit better. She kind of looks at you. She says, I don't know how well y'all see in the dark.
Not well.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect, actually.
me as well.
So,
High five.
I mean, I suppose I can just fall around wearing dark glasses. You can tie a rope around my waist.
Well,
Maybe
we can
more
get
goggles.
exactly get things to sort of counteract that for you.
I suppose that would work.
can Ganassi sing in the dark? What's Jack?
You think a fire one would be happy?
I think you think so, but
night penetration skills.
you never know. I always assume like they do have dark vision. Okay.
Good. Pretty much every race except humans.
I always assume
And
that,
Kenku.
but Kenku, halflings, Goliath,
Halflings, right?
they don't have dark vision.
Halfling, really?
Yeah, that's the one that always surprises me a little bit. But halflings do not have dark
Being
vision.
burrow dwellers,
Yeah.
sort of genetically, right? Sort of descended from rabbits or something. Implications. Well,
So she says, given that for the comfort of everyone, I would suggest we start in the morning.
all right. Let's do that then. Okay then. Well, build direct. That's good. We meet here or at the gate or at the
She
town.
says, you can come, you can meet me here, and we're close enough to the edge of town that this is a good place to meet.
Perfect. Great. What time do you want?
Early as you can. I'll be here at dawn.
Great. We'll aim for sunup. I think it's probably about 5 or 6 bells, probably this time of day, right? Or what time of year are we?
I don't know if I ever said autumn. Let's say autumn.
Oh, probably, yeah. So maybe getting a little later, but okay.
We're in a tropical province. The season is summer.
Yes,
Right.
and look, you're at the edge of the world. It's always summer here. Like
Right,
the day
right,
is
right.
slightly
But as far as
shorter than
sunrise,
usual. Yes.
I was thinking of sunrise.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we'll be here by the morning gloam. Perfect.
Actually, I don't even think you're at the edge of you're at the edge of the map of what is usually associated, but there is like a whole southern hemisphere that nobody ever talks about.
Like a subarctic kind of thing.
No, there's like fantasy Australia in the Forgotten Realms, and it's just never been talked about. But it's on maps. It's just nobody ever talks about it. Like there's no lore associated with it. It's odd.
Because everyone's too busy focusing on one coast.
Yeah, it's called Oz, I think. It's like it's even on the nose of the name. But like
And the people are Aussies, correct?
yeah, I think they're
Oh, dude, this is such a great opportunity to like create like Kanga folk and koala folk, and
or like just do some rad like indigenous folklore style kind of inspired by
that's where the shaman class should come from. The dreamtime stuff.
Like
Aboriginal.
They have people
Yeah.
from the culture writing the class.
yes, with the
absolutely.
caveat that it should be done tastefully, not by a bunch of
Back
white
to
people.
the game we're playing.
Right.
Hi.
Bum, ba-dum, bum.
Welcome to Culturally Sensitive D&D. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it's not. So yes, I think we ought to go see Manchun, he said in a totally culturally sensitive accent. Off to a good start, guys.
Huh? Right.
By the way, only going to mention Manchun's name once we're out of here. Like,
Sure.
just want to make that clear.
Sure.
You're just gonna start shouting that, oh, alright, let's go see that mob boss in public.
I think we'd better go to pay our friend a visit. Because otherwise he's going to pay us a visit, but with a different connotation.
That friend.
Yes. He's not really a friend.
No, he's not.
Nah.
Oh.
He sees what I was doing there is called sarcasm. This probably requires a change of identity, though. I don't want people seeing me going in and out of... And then he's going to kind of trail off. Ash is going to kind of trail off as they walk away. And they're going to come back wearing vest, suspenders, and a bow tie. Sort of a petite half-elf woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to go, all right, I am ready to go whenever you are.
Right. Sorry. Could I just go through my notebook here for a second?
This one isn't in there. I just made it up.
Oh, it's not Petunia. No, Ashley was the half-elf flapper character. That's what I was
It's a
thinking.
different half-elf.
A different one, right? The other half. Okay. Great. Nice to meet. What's your name then?
Call me Marion.
Marion. Great. Okay.
Okay. So you all head back to the old city, and you approach not terribly far from the cult mansion that you were in about a night ago. You approach a ostentatious mansion. There are obvious guards out front, but yeah, once you approach, they open the gate for you. They walk you inside, and Slim meets you in the foyer, and he says, "Real smart of you to come visit the boss. He'll see you right now."
Great.
Walks you into a, again, ostentatiously appointed study, where there is a man wearing a meticulous bespoke suit, watch fob. His is gray and black pinstripes. He's wearing just a shirt and tie. It's not like black and gold or anything like that, but he does have a little gold lapel pin. And he seems to be eating from here it's like they're pierogies. He's eating pierogies.
Oh.
I'm not gonna try and describe them. They're
every culture has a dumpling, right?
But he's eating pierogies.
I love pierogies.
Oh, they're the best.
They're so good.
Now you've summoned pierogi craving in me.
Damn it.
It can't be worse than the spring roll craving that I got from Star Wars.
That was a major plot point of Star Wars, even.
It was.
Okay. So he's got applesauce. He's got sour cream.
Are they potato pierogies?
Potato pierogies.
Oh, fried or boiled it? Or
no,
Okay,
fried. Fried.
The description
Thank
of the
you, thank you.
pierogies maybe.
I'm glad I ate before stream, is all I'm gonna say.
No. I'm like,
Anyways,
damn it, I want pierogies.
hello there, Mr. Manchun, person.
He says, "Yes, welcome to my humble abode."
Many things. It's very nice, but I'm not sure I would use humble.
I like you. Yes,
No.
some of my associates overheard that you're going to the ziggurat outside of town. There are certain artifacts that I would pay most notably for. Some say they would belong in a museum, but it seems a waste for school trips to gawk at them for all eternity when they could hold such important and meaningful arcane knowledges in them. So if you brought him back here, I don't want to interfere with your legitimate businesses. I'm just saying you'd have a buyer.
Is there anything specific that you are looking for?
He says, yeah, there is, I've heard tale of a scroll, a ritual, if you will. It's called something, which I'm about to tell you what it's called.
Oh, you're very prepared, Mr. Manchun.
Thank you.
He's eating pierogies.
It's my lunch, I'm sorry. Would you like some?
Right. Well, now that you mention it, I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Yeah, he snaps People bring pierogies, a salad with French fries on top.
Oh, good.
Other Pittsburgh things.
I like it.
French fries with French fries on top.
French fries with French fries on top. Lots of ketchup. Everything's got ketchup on it.
Oh, no.
How can you distinguish the French fries from the French fries that are on top of the French fries?
Well, the French fries that are on top of the French fries are the French fries that are on top.
Top
So
tier
as soon as
fry.
you eat that first layer of the French fries, then you just have a plate of French fries.
That's right.
Nothing for me, thanks. So this ritual scroll, what is it called?
It's called...
Eldritch pierogi.
Delicious. The ritual is called the Prince of Lies.
Oh, boy.
Interesting.
And what can you tell us about this ritual then? Begging your pardon. Sorry to interrupt.
No, of course. Intellectual curiosity is a trait I hold dear to me.
Well, it's also,
well, you're going to love me then.
the original
it's also-
Mansion.
it's also original.
He's not. He's lying.
It's like Ray's
Oh,
Pizza.
it's
They
like the
all
real-
claim to
Yeah,
be the original.
exactly. I'm the famous original Mansions.
I love it. So I assume I can get to slice here then as well. Okay, I'll ask about that later. Let me just ask. Yeah, it's really a practical curiosity too. You know, I mean, like, what are we looking for? A simple rolled up scroll, or is it on a tablet?
It's probably a rolled up scroll. Probably has some skull iconography on it. It's a ritual of Jurgle, one of the gods of the dead.
Yeah.
How likely am I to recognize that name?
As someone from Thay, very likely.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I don't want anything to do with this scroll then, probably.
So you would know that Jurgle used to be a greater god of the dead, and then a bunch of crap happened, and now he's an underling to Merkel and Kelemvor. Kelemvor is the god of the dead at this point. And Jurgle's essentially like his scribe. He used to be a much bigger deal. And if this place is ancient enough, it was probably from when he was a pretty big deal. Also, he looks like a bug man for some reason.
Jurgle does?
Yeah. He's got like 6 arms and a bug face. I don't know.
Oh, they're bug devils and stuff. Jurgle, god of the dead. Got it. Okay. Now, he doesn't tell all this stuff. This is just stuff that's ticking around.
Yeah, that's stuff
right.
that Emissary would know about Jurgle.
Right.
And could probably pretty easily share with you. Just like, no,
Right.
don't like it.
So, okay. So, out of intellectual curiosity, you're interested in this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's part of my collection.
And,
Must be very proud of your collection. Is it large?
Yes, collected over many a lifetime.
Okay.
Okay, so ritual scroll prince. That's all then, huh?
That's the main thing. Anything else you find of note that you think might interest me, I will pay you handsomely for. Mostly things associated with this time period. Jurgle, a fallen priest is associated with this temple. Necromancer. Necromancy is not my forte, but it's interesting.
Okay, and the fallen priest. Do you have a name for this fella?
Caius.
Caius, right? Okay. Does that tickle any bells? I guess. Let me see.
I mean, from
I mean, I remember from the ritual.
yeah,
Yes.
from the ritual, yeah.
But so nothing more beyond that. Okay, Caius.
no.
I'll try and feign a lack of knowledge. Great. Okay.
We'll let you know if anything comes up, although we are really just trying to get in and out of this place. I don't want to linger for too long.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want little old me to get hurt now, would you?
The last thing I'd ever want is for someone to get hurt in my employ.
Well, that's reassuring.
I mean, it's not really employ, but...
As a freelancer, however you'd like to fill out your W-2s.
Is there any sort of retainer you're offering?
No.
So it's just professional exchange. Like, hey, as long as you're in the neighborhood, if you found this thing and you're bringing it back. So there's no expectation of return.
No.
Is that your... Right.
No.
Okay.
Okay, good, because when they came to get us, we got the impression that there might be some kidney removal happening without our
From
consent.
my boys, I will have to talk to them about that. That should not have been implicit so much as explicit.
It was not explicit, but it was very implicit.
Well, they should be more straightforward with their demands and their threats. Look, if I hear that you sell this scroll to somebody else, perhaps I'll be mad. This scroll may not exist. If you don't come back with this scroll, I'm not going to hunt you down and kill you and take out your kidneys. What would I need your kidneys for? Robot kidneys? I don't need robot kidneys. Interesting. I don't need them.
Point
Thank
well
you,
taken.
Mr. Manchun,
Just
for your
saying.
time and your offer. It's very generous.
Thank you for your time.
And thank you for the lunch. It was very nice.
Most welcome.
Right. Show ourselves out, or
Yes, and have a prosperous day.
and you. Okay. So we walk out, and
The moment we get out,
Yes,
what?
that is the correct reaction.
So he wants this. Right.
You shouldn't have it.
Right. Maybe we talk about this when we get a little further away. I don't know. Seems like a walls have ears sort of place. Okay, so we got an offer. I've had lunch. I don't know if anyone else is. Anything else you need to go? You need to go back to the station to wrap things up. Or...
yeah, let's see if I can do a quick afternoon broadcast.
Oh,
After that, I think it's best we get some rest, and then head out tomorrow morning. I have to go to the bathroom, if that's all right.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Okay. So let's just say Ash goes and does their
broadcast.
broadcast. So what would the two of you like to do? And if that answer is just get a good night's rest, be prepared for the morning, that's a great answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little curious to see if there's any on the street information about what happened the night before. If there's a buzz around, people are talking about things. If it's worth sort of an information dip.
Yeah, sure. Give me a survival check using your charisma score.
Okay, great. I love mixing it up that way. So 16.
Okay. So kind of hitting the streets using your streetwise.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's not a lot of This seems like it is indeed a pretty well kept secret. There were only 25 people there. The city's pretty big at this point. It's got close to 1 million people here. So no, there's nobody really talking about it because it also didn't. You didn't blow up the house or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. It was more subtle.
It was pretty subtle. Right. So
yeah, cool. Just checking. office.
It wasn't an
Just checking.
explosion, it was flaming spear parked in doorway.
Right. Which eventually, you drop concentration, they'll put it out, kind of thing. So,
Right.
but you didn't fireball a residence.
Plus, it was a doorway in an alley
Yeah.
as opposed to like
Yeah.
on a main
Yes.
main street or something, right? So that probably mitigated any sort of sensation. Great. Yeah, I think just I'll go back to my office, I reckon. Lock it up, check to see if there's any mail. Pack a bag, get ready. Where do you stay?
Probably with the merchant friend that we hadn't named from episode 1.
Oh, yeah, their name is a name.
Meant to ask you about this and I forgot.
Their name is Chorus.
Chorus?
Yeah, Coris.
And in the time of the night, how long does it take to brew healing potions?
Ooh.
Is that a class feature you have?
It is not a class feature in this case. It's just something that I would be able to do just because as an alchemist, I have the tools for it, I have the ability for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if that's a thing I can do,
Let me do a quick Google.
if I have the time for it. If it's like potion of healing takes like a week to make, then it takes a week to make.
I think we'll be good without the healing potions, but if you want to...
Famous last words.
Well, I have healing, and she also has healing. Or, they also have healing.
It says 1 day. I would let you do it overnight.
Okay, well,
But you'd get 1.
better than none.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do them, one a night. Build up a stock or something. Although ingredients are, I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah, that was my thought of doing it in town is one thing, doing it in the jungle is a bit of
right,
another.
right. Could be a mixed bag because you might have access to really awesome ingredients in the jungle, but conditions for like lab privacy focus are not optimal unless you had a Leomund's hut sort of reality happening. But
I have a rope trick.
rope trick? That's an hour, right?
An hour.
Yeah. Well, you could do hour-long sessions. Just keep at it. Who knows? Yeah. So, sleep what I can. Get my bag together.
Since when does Devin sleep?
When does what?
Since when do you sleep?
Oh, that's a great question. Don't really. Well, you're talking to player or the character.
Character.
Right. Well, that's true. I mean, I got to rest somewhat. When do I sleep? Catch a bit here, catch a bit there. So I'm probably there before the sun comes up.
Okay.
With whatever sort of, hopefully, like waiting for emissary to show up because I know I can get a fresh hot cup of coffee. I'll try and score some beans to bring with us, just to keep it up on the way.
Yeah, when you guys were like buying food and things that fleshy people need, emissary was buying potion supplies.
That's great. You're looking out for us.
Okay. Pardon me. Okay.
It's all good.
So you head back to Beacon's shop. She is waiting for you outside. She sees you coming, locks up her door. She's got a pack, and she gestures for you to follow her and walks towards the edge of the city and into the jungle. So, you travel 2 days through the jungle. This was a full campaign. We might do something there. We're just going to fast travel to the place.
Sure.
But with the guide, you don't get lost.
Yay.
She manages all your supplies and stuff like that. Like, so tells you, make sure you don't drink too much, eat too much. Manages your bug equipment, sets up camp for you, all that stuff. She's great. And eventually, at the end, at the like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening on the second day, you approach a clearing, and in the clearing is a ziggurat with this odd pillar coming out of the top of it. That it's like the pillar goes straight up, and then it's like a cactus almost with arms. So like 10 feet up, it juts out to the right, and then that juts straight up, and it does that kind of alternating sides a couple times at the very top of the ziggurat. And let's see.
Interesting.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 big stone steps of the ziggurat, and then a series of smaller steps leading up to the very top that you could enter through. It's overgrown. It's big. It's a big ziggurat. There are a couple smaller stone buildings kind of at the base of it that almost look like this was at one point like a proper settlement. It wasn't just the ziggurat, like there were people living here. It almost looks like the kind of footprint of a little town around it.
Okay. Wow. There it is. What time of day is it? You said it's a late part of the day, like nighttime?
It's approaching dusk. It's about
And
4 o'clock. You got a couple hours of daylight left still. Not a lot.
Traveled all day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's. You said that near the top there looks like there's a way in. Like that would be the way it's designed.
Yes.
But it's overgrown. So how difficult terrainy are the steps?
You'd say they're difficult terrain, but if you're not outrun, it'll just take you a couple minutes to climb up all of them.
But if running would be a drag.
Running would be difficult. Yes.
Right. Okay. Cool. Good to know.
You could burn the stuff away if you needed to get out or in quicker. But yeah.
Right. But as far as the way it is untouched, that's the reality. And how high roughly?
That's a great question that I will answer for you. So the stairs are like 80 feet probably. The total height of the ziggurat's more like 300 feet.
Holy shit.
The very top of it towers way above the stairs.
Right. So, okay. So it's just... And that part above the stairs is more ziggurat, like a point? Or it's this cactusy kind of thing? Or
it's
both?
like this... It's the cactusy kind of thing, yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. So that thing is really tall. Great. So we go 80 feet up to the stairs. Mm-hmm. Difficult terrain. It's going to take a few minutes. So, yeah. I would like to... investigate the area or perceive the area either way to see just to make sure there are any hidden dangers.
Sure.
So I would so that is a 21 investigation.
Perfect. So with the 21 you would start to notice some signs that perhaps this place isn't as abandoned as it first looks. Looking around, you can see there is some evidence that there are creatures that are either living in or around the ziggurat, and they must come out at some point. If they live in it and not just simply around it, rather. Let me say that.
Right, and like in it via the normal way in, or like in dense holes of overgrowth or something.
In the normal way in.
Okay. All right. Good to note. And I guess perception would be kind of, is anyone watching us? Is anyone around, right? As opposed to investigation?
Sure, yeah, if anybody wants to make a perception check.
Just to wonder if they're also, like, what time of day it is that they come out. That was less successful. That was an 11 for me.
Okay. If anyone else would like to make a perception check.
Not perception, but like at the ziggurat, Em is going to look for just sort of like any sort of carvings or reliefs or just like, broken bits of pot with paint on them.
Okay, sure. Perception or investigation check for that. And Ash, what would you like to do?
Who are you right now, Ash? Which identity?
Who gets to go out into the jungle and be uncomfortable?
Dan,
your mic is up.
I guess I'll just stick with the. I guess I'll just stick with the current one with Marianne.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
14, by the way.
Okay. So looking around, I got too many windows open. Let me close some of these.
Get a draft going.
Sounds like you need more monitors.
I got three. I got Discord, I got OBS, and I got my notes over here. I do need more monitors. Okay.
Plus your phone.
Plus my phone. I don't use my phone as much because I figured out how to manage chat in OBS better now.
That's good.
But yeah, I like D&D Beyond, Pittsburgh Foods. Okay, let's see. Where am I? Where's mine? Here we go. My notes on this place. So there are fragments of pottery and such, and there's some carving into the edifice of this place. So a couple things you notice. There are... the pottery has the symbol of Jurgle on it, which is a skull with, I think it's a candle in its mouth.
Like open mouth, candles inside of it.
Oh, it's a scroll. I'm sorry. So yeah, so open skull mouth, a skull in it, and then there's a quill on top usually. And the eyes are filled in with like silver. So that's on a couple different pieces of pottery. You'd say those are really old, like way older than some of the other stuff you're finding. Some of the other stuff you're finding has more, it's obviously more modern iconography on it. The pottery itself just looks newer, the paint fresher. And that has iconography similar, you would say, to what you saw at the cult house last night, or 2 nights ago. The kind of the star leaking worms, or the eye holes with worms down them.
Stuff.
Yeah, the Caius stuff. So there's a couple of that. And if you get closer to the ziggurats, you can see that for the most part on the outside, it's all the Jurgle stuff. It's a lot of skull motifs. It's a lot of stuff like that. There's like a dark... there's just a single black streak around the middle one, like kind of just dead center. You don't know if that has any particular significance, but that is something. So, so that's what you get with your 14.
Wow. Well, And I assume you communicate what you have found.
Yes.
Uh,
Probably as they're finding it out loud, not really thinking about it, because we're not surrounded by people again, and boy has that made him relax.
oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, it seems like we're onto this for our own interests and interests of that would-be benefactor, business associate, right? Jurgle and also this Caius stuff. Are we up for a way in? Want to go in exploring? Do you want to go in during the day? Or should we just go right in? If we go in, we might not have the opportunity for a rest. We could get caught with that reality, or by the same token, if we camp outside here, we might, in the unknown part at night. What do you think?
Oh, aside a bit for Daniel, since we were traveling for several days, just add a pair of goggles of night vision to your
Thank
inventory.
you.
Nice.
Because I have them as an infusion.
I appreciate that.
Such a useful thing.
They're how I can see at night, and I can make that happen for other people.
Good.
Goggles of night. I have dark vision 60 feet now. Yay. I apologize. I got a little distracted. So, yeah, let's... I think it'd probably be best to rest outside at the ziggurat.
Possibly, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to. We don't. So we'll rest up tonight, set a watch, go in the morning.
Sounds good.
Okay. And Beacon will stay with us because we're not going in, right?
Correct.
And we'll
Yeah.
presumably contribute to the watch schedule, yeah?
Yeah, so
But
she'll
I thought you
to
guys
set
don't
up
need to
camp.
sleep.
Huh?
Not exactly.
Okay. So as night falls and you start to set up camp and Beacon lights a fire, you can hear inside the ziggurat a screeching noise. Just
Like constant, or
it ebbs and flows as if a creature is making a screeching noise.
Sounds like a broken computer. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
what's
I mean, a broken abacus.
I don't like
1920s.
these new neighbors.
Abacus needs oil. Just creaky. Okay, so it sounds like the cry of an animal.
It is
Like
certainly more bestial than humanoid.
And is it like, okay, we've been traveling in the jungle for 2 days? Is it like part of that sort of soundscape? It's distinct and it's like unusual and it's sudden,
And it's
Okay.
clearly coming from inside the ziggurat. And Beacon looks like that's not a jungle noise. Like that's not
Okay.
a dinosaur.
Oh, I was
or-
gonna ask if you had any ideas. That's not good.
Alright,
So-
I think we need to go check that out.
all right. And how far into this, our rest?
Oh,
Does this happen?
not far. Like you all have. Beacon has started to make a fire and dinner. Like you all haven't. No one's fallen asleep yet.
Okay, so are you going to be all right out here on your own if we go and check this out?
Yeah, she'll pull out like a just a crossbow and a heavy crossbow. Kind of cock it. It's has anybody seen the movie Van Helsing?
Yes.
It's like the repeater crossbow from that movie.
Awesome.
Neat.
That movie is such a thing. Anyway,
Emissary gets
Jack, man.
distracted looking at the neat crossbow and just like kind of starts comparing it with their own. Like they take their staff, pop it into crossbow mode, and just like
Kinda
start
nods
going
like
back
that.
and forth a little bit.
That's pretty rad, but shouldn't you be checking out this terrifying thing?
Oh right, that's happening.
All right,
Please.
let's do this.
But now you can
She's
upgrade
like
yours.
she is like sweats.
If anything, I can actually probably upgrade hers because mine already can't run out of ammo.
She has started to sweat and steam is pouring off of her face.
Let's
Just for
go.
being nervous? Or for
Yes,
just being in the
yeah,
jungle?
she's
okay.
nervous.
Oh, wow. Don't you worry.
Yeah, the heat doesn't bother her too much. So,
Right.
um,
I'm gonna light my cigarette off her ambient flame and head up.
Rude.
What? It's not rude.
Ask for permission first. I gave you a lighter for a reason.
Ugh, that's right.
they did give you a lighter.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
okay.
Sorry about that.
So,
Ash is going to take out her sword
Mhm.
and crouch to the ground real slowly and start heading over.
okay. So as you get closer, you can hear what sounds like a combination of slithering and clicking against stone.
Like down the steps.
Like like as you get closer to the ziggurat. And bursting out of the top of the ziggurat, let me see if I can show you this picture. It's on my laptop, so let's see if this will
We're so screwed,
show
guys.
up okay.
A little bit.
Remember what it is? Oh,
go.
yeah. That looks pretty bad. It's
Hmm.
tentacular,
Hate it.
spectacular.
Yeah. So it's got creepy bug arms, a creepy big bug mandible. It seems to slither like a worm, and it's got tentacles. It's everything.
Should I make a stealth roll?
Sure.
Okay. That is a 13.
13? Okay.
Good
So
news. I'm obvious.
Ash attempts to hide. The Warforged Knoll is obvious. Daemon, is there anything you would like to do before we end the episode?
I will also attempt to hide.
Okay.
In a way to not be. Let's see. That is a 17.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
we'll see.
I'm a 7-foot tall robot in scale mail. What do you want from me?
With a giant crossbow. Okay.
Right now, honestly, kind of want you to distract this thing.
Yeah. So Ash and Daemon dive. Em is staring at this thing, and we'll pick up there next month.
Oh my god.
Outros and plugs. Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan. I am in law school, so I'm very busy lately. I can't think of anything except law school right now.
Law school does that to people, I hear.
Yeah. Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. Be kind. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Trans rights. Black Lives Matter.
Seriously, pandemic isn't over just because you're over it.
And Timothy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Timothy. Thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in, thanks for just doing what you're doing, trying to get by. If you're not, if you hear this or not, I'm here for you, people. It's Indigenous Peoples Day. You know, I think it's important to recognize that. Colonialism sucked. It still sucks. And its legacy is really hard to overcome. It is entrenched in our society, all aspects of it, including the slave trade, etc. The legacy of
And
colonial
our legal system, unfortunately.
Exactly. It's all set up. It's all enmeshed. So it's all up to us to, address that and change it, because we have the power to do it. We're the future. We're the future now. It's a living thing. So that's my impromptu soapbox. I had no idea about talking about, but here it is. And I love you. What? Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yep. Let's see. I echo everything everyone says, as always. Please vote. Maybe you've received your mail-in ballot by now. You can drop it off at a location, probably. Make sure
it's in a legitimate location.
Yes, and make sure if you're in certain states, I know Pennsylvania is doing this, that you put it in the proper envelopes, the proper order. Otherwise, they possibly will reject your ballot. So just be careful. Read the instructions. Read them again. Have someone else read them to make sure you're not missing anything. Be kind to each other. Don't be racist. Wear your mask. And we love all of you.
Bye.
Star Chasers on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bye.
You need to put down one of the skelly hands to end the stream.
I can do it.
It can do
It's
it.
possible.
Oh, look at that.
There we go.
Multitasking. These are skelly hands with flesh.
Are we done?